Good evening, everyone, and welcome. It's time, well, a little bit more time for xDefiant. As you know, we have our intermission pew pew bang bang streams, or well, shooty bang bang, as Agonia likes to call them. And today is more of the Ubisoft variety instead of the EA variety, or the Activision variety. So, yeah, welcome back. As you probably for everyone who doesn't know yet, basically xDefiant free-to-play FPS game from Ubisoft. It's kind of their Smash Bros. Game, so they kind of have all the factions from, you know, various games they have. It's been a bit of a slow thing, honestly. Like, do I have anything I should still need to do? No. Oh, that's new. The smoke grenade is actually new. Okay. So, basically, you can separate the game into two modes. Oh, private matches are now in as well. That's actually very neat. So basically, you have your typical arena mode, you know, domination. I think this one is just what's it called again? It's basically that the new King of the Hill mode. Yeah, so this like is a variant on kill confirmed. You know those has attack defense modes, you know, payload and zone control. And I think those two fit a lot better with the general gameplay because it, you know, it took a little bit of Overwatch. So instead of, you know, characters, you have factions. They have like basically a major, like ultimate, and you can choose between one of two passives, and you have one of two other skills, and you have like a passive skill. That's how they work. The Highwaymen running this one, they're actually really fun, and you will see them. And yeah, they added a new map called Signal from Far Arcade New Dawn. So let's just play that. Hey, yeah, it is. Played a bit today. Still need to see how I will definitely tackle India tomorrow. Basically, Agonia's told me I should, you know, try the good old just pump iron mines and live off credit control, you know, method. I get that one, but like, I feel, especially now with the famine system, you really need to be way more careful about, like, you actually need to build farms. Like, don't just import from the chain. I mean, also import from the chain. You definitely want every little bit of grain you can get, but You're gonna see that tomorrow. We have some interesting stuff lined up to play. Oh damn. That's not nice. And there I heard actually it's you know, it actually improved the performance So, whoops. Was I playing the SVD? Or was I playing the double barrel? I think I was playing the SVD actually. Yeah, why not? Been actually kind of playing the SVD in a lot of games and shockingly surprised. But yeah, this is a game with no text print. But damn. Yeah, this is a beautiful looking map. Holy.
Take the capture zone to open up the next tier. Good. Sure, hard to kill. That's cool.
Seems still very close quarters, but yeah, damn. Haha. But yeah, it's you don't have a good PC or I mean, okay. I'm kind of happy I was able to upgrade, you know, Agonias with like leftover parts because so last year I basically upgraded my PC with new stuff. You know, mostly for streaming games like this. But basically, you know, had some RAM over and such, slotted in a little bit of a better CPU, so she has now 8 instead of, you know, 4 cores. So that does help with Wiki 3. That, you know, it's slightly not the most demanding game. You know, Wiki 3 is just it's just that game where you're like, oh god, the minorities are ruining everything again in terms of performance. Because, you know, migrating and stuff. They had to get that performance under control, but they apparently do right now. They're apparently doing that, so I'm impressed. I'm very impressed, actually. There is someone coming. There's some. Haha.
Oh, those flames look painful.
Oh yeah, honestly, I've been saying the you know, the DLC escort maps in this game have been really good so far, and this one definitely feels like, oh yeah, like, oh hey, nice close quarters.
Perfect for home defense.
Don't let them keep kicking you when you're down. Stand up and fight.
But yeah, crashes? Oh. I hope they have a hotfix until tomorrow. But that's one of the reasons, you know, where people were like, oh hey, are you going to stream on, you know, on launch day? Like, no, that's the reason. Like, I don't want to, you know, be harsh to the devs. It's like more. I have a general thing that, you know, if there is a major patch in a game, you know, it's not just, oh hey, we're releasing some content, yada yada yada. I'm generally like, I wait, especially when it comes to Wiki 3. Can't tell you how many times we had it that, you know, patch comes out on, you know, Tuesday or Thursday, and 1 day later, there's a hotfix. So, it's like, streaming a lot, no, we're using this time to, you know, Agonia's currently watching Ludi Aces Historia, so she's, you know, getting all the sweet information how to, you know, do Holy Roman Empire even more with, you know, Giga Germany, because that's just a thing. We'll see when the game is performant enough that we can just run a whole series with that. Would be nice.
flames look
For home defense.
Ha! So that's like, yeah, waiting for hot fixes then. Trying it out a bit, you know, like, okay, what do you do with, what do I have to do with India? I mean, I think usually, you know, for me it's usually like, I wait for the hotfix, and the hotfix is usually enough. Like, I don't need the game to be super stable, I just need it to be stable, you know? That's it. Honestly, I think the SVD in this game already is the weakest. I think second place is... I mean, it's kind of fun in the Call of Duty, but... they're mostly using zombies because, like... Holy shit. Okay, so, I don't know who knows what about zombies as much. But, one of the things in Call of Duty Zombies is that if you pack a punch a weapon, it changes some major part about the gun sometimes, you know. So usually it's just, you know, just a straight up, they're just laser weapons now. Doing more damage, that stuff. But sometimes it majorly changes how a gun works. Oh, that's actually really cool. And so you have, for example, pistols. There are some pistols that just get explosive damage. So you're like, oh, so you can just shoot on the ground and it explodes. That's cool.
Breaking out the real big gun.
What was that? I think we bugged. Okay, something just majorly glitched. But yeah, basically, so some are good about, you know, in that sense, because you literally get like really good stuff like explosives. Like some pistols have that, one sniper rifle has it, but the SVD as a sniper rifle, interestingly, they have a marksman section now, but anyway. It becomes a shotgun. Like, it's a sniper shotgun. So you can just hip fire on zombies and it's like, just mows them down. It's like, oh, okay, cool. Hey, don't want that.
perfect execution.
But yeah, ironically, I tried it in the last time, you know, playing some 2042 there, and yeah, that's a consistent two-tap weapon. I definitely need to look up what the best build here is. But yeah, Vicky 3, it's like, honestly, India looks interesting now, but definitely sounds a lot like you have to build farms now, because famines could be.
You're on defense.
They could become problematic, I'd say. And I mean, problematic is, you know that word. It's problematic, but they could be problematic. Like, yeah, that famine system, that is gonna be the most decisive part in how to actually play now. I'd say this is probably one of the biggest parts, because
Hold the zones for longer than the enemy gang just did. Perfect execution.
I usually had
Turret on Overwatch.
are you coming? Ooh, turret has someone. Good. Good going, turret. Oh fuck. Ah. But yeah, oh well. We'll see how it goes tomorrow. We're gonna play some new stuff, some stuff that got updated. Spoiler, Agonia is going to play Belgium. Interesting changes, I would say, to Belgium. Because like you're like, oh hey, yeah, the conference, right? And like you can just ignore the conference. Spoilers, you can just ignore the conference, which makes it actually pretty consistent if you're playing Belgium, I'd say at least.
Enemies have unlocked the clear capture zone.
Somebody fix me up.
Defend our zones, Rabbit!
Like, like that's the big one.
Turret out.
You know,
Touch me up.
from what it seems also now is that if you playing, if you're playing Belgium, they apparently favor the Netherlands a lot. Unsure why. There's we have the theory, and heard it also elsewhere, that it's simply because Belgium is now just simply stronger than the Netherlands. So the AI is just like, shouldn't help Belgium too much, which is like, huh. But also, you just start with better tech now and better armies. Like, what can I say about Belgium other than I think you have now 24. You have 24 troops now in Belgium, right? What?
If I remember correctly, yes.
Yeah, 24. It's skirmish infantry, by the way. So this is like, it's just 20. It's 24, which is solid for like a smaller nation, but it's also skirmish. So like,
And one boat.
and the boat. So yeah, I think that you always had a boat.
I always had a boat, but I still have it.
You still have a boat and skirmish infantry, meaning you can just invade Congo and Gaza.
I can invade lots of things because, yes, it's inefficient to cram 24 battalions onto one boat.
But it's
It
20.
works.
But it's 24 skirmish infantry.
Yes.
So like, yeah, that's good. Like, we didn't expect Belgium to receive. Like, we were like, oh yeah, Belgium, yeah, like you have that conference now. That's just a thing, that they're doing now. And then you play Belgium. You're like, oh, they just majorly buffed Belgium. Like, no, okay, majorly, yes, but it's a good buff.
It's a good one. Also, you can just say no to the conference if you have any sporting relations with the related countries.
Yeah, said that already, but.
Oh, you did it. Okay, yeah.
But yeah, the 40 relations, I forgot to add that. It's just minus 40 relations, which is still positively if you, with Britain in the end. What, like,
Yeah, it's not good, but it's better than letting the conference happen.
like, yeah, the conference happening so far seems to be like, they're just favoring, they're favoring the Netherlands and Luxembourg. And so, like, right now Luxembourg is just nothing, and if you ignore the conference, it's like, oh yeah, you can probably just roll over Luxembourg and no one will care.
I mean, the personal union of the Netherlands.
I mean, honestly, you're in a much better position to roll over the Netherlands than in the other way.
Yeah, but the Netherlands are also stronger. Not that strong.
That's, I mean, it's kind of interesting. Also, yeah, basically you can do the United Netherlands, you know, with Belgium now, which should make it the United Belgium or something. Just, I mean, you know my problems, okay? It's like, for some reason they really forgot to add some fun name changes when, you know, certain things happen in the game. Like, as we did last time, you know, we basically pushed Austria all the way into Hungary, and it, you know, the capital is Budapest. At that point, it should be called Hungary, not Austria, or you know, Hungary, Austria, if it, you know, when it flips.
Happy hunting!
Good job, turret. Oh no, turret got killed. But yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting that they just buffed those. But hey, I guess they can use that considering, you know, I think Germany can now become Super Germany in 3 years or something. Like, yeah.
Shield up.
Oh well, we'll see. We will see where it's going. I have to say though, I really like what they did with this map. Eh. There we go.
This battle is about done.
Oh well, but yeah, tomorrow's gonna be interesting. What were the other nations we wanted to play?
Barrier deployed.
I know you're gonna do Belgium.
I'm crazy. I
5, 4, 3,
don't know anything about Belgium.
1.
Never played Belgium. Mostly played, you know, Germany. Okay, I know one thing. There's one return state you have on France, that is the French lowlands.
The Low Countries?
Low countries.
Countries or counties?
Counties, so I'd say one thing, since you have good skirmish infantry now, when Germany has beef with France, you could tag on and be like, hey Germany, if I help you, can I get that part of France? That is probably something you should try to do. Like, now that I think about it, yeah, that is probably not the worst idea to go for that, because...
Oh, also, interesting, there is no Dominion here anymore.
Oh, wait, what?
Yes.
They removed Dominions.
As far as I know, yes.
Okay, why? I mean, okay, yeah, Dominions are now out, okay. Meaning there's just tributary and vassal and...
No, vassalization is I think in general, and the type of vassal in this thing is tributary for unrecognized. Recognized, it's the same as before.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, okay.
I don't remember. We had 3, right? We had Dominions.
Mm-hmm.
We had... Yeah, I think Dominions is out. We have Protectorate Puppet now.
Wow, okay, so it is easier to get into, it's easier to actually dominate someone now.
And either the calculation for infamy has been revised, or pops are different because it seems to be pretty cheap to get most countries.
Mm-hmm. That's okay. I'm just super lightweight. Okay, this is how we're going with this. No, not the double barrel. Double barrel doesn't have much. It's just a double barrel. It's a fun double. Yeah, I could use the double barrel a bit. So we want lightweight, I guess. Oh well, but yeah, tomorrow is like, it's gonna be interesting. Especially, you know, we're playing with like 4, 5 people, various nations. The big question is always, how will the AI react? Because depending on the patch version, especially when you're playing multiplayer, you see, there's this thing that the AI is generally, you know, made to be more aggressive when there are more people in the lobby, like more players. Which, you know, kind of makes sense. If you just have like a normal AI going, oh gee, I wonder what these people I have no clue about because they're not AI like me are doing. You know, they're going for. But sometimes they've been hyper aggressive. I think it's always, yeah, that's the thing. You know, AI is supposed to scale depending on how many people play, and I'm fine with that. It's just, I think depending on what kind of it depends a bit on luck. Even like last patch, it was, you know, if we weren't aggressive on the major nations or we played major nations themselves, they could just start being hyper aggressive. Like, look at the last times where, you know, the USA for some reason attacked Britain for whales twice. Like, they just twice attacked them for whales. Like, okay. And they were just constantly at war so much that the Opium Wars never happened. You know, it was the Korea stuff. So that was a thing. I'm generally very interested in how they handle stuff now. Also, big question: how will AI handle famines? Because
as far as I could see, not very well.
I thought so, because it's probably either, okay? We have 2 options. Either they're ignoring that a famine is going on and then it will wreck their country, or they will overcompensate and just start building all the farms, which will, you know, inevitably wreck the industry, so also not going well.
Also, we will import all that grain and build the useful stuff. But as far as I know, they still build very similar to how they did before. So they have a bigger focus than at least I did back then on grain.
I mean,
because I never built it. Now there's a reason to build it.
Yeah.
Because if you get a famine, the pops die very quickly.
It's like, you know what? It's kind of funny how they fixed, that no one... Okay, everyone who kind of optimized that game a little bit, built very little farms, they just fixed that by introducing hunger. Your people die to build some farms, you shithead. What do you mean, sweet, heavy industry? Everyone just did the Soviet 5-year plan. Build industry, build industry, build industry. What are farms? Farms are supposed to just run on themselves and socialist worker spirit. Heavy industry, that's where it's at.
Corn is growing in the field. It's no industry. This is on its own.
You can't starve with worker spirit. And I guess that worked. I guess. Introducing hunger will be great for change. Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Also, I'm thinking, because I looked at the interest groups of the East India Company.
Yeah. Can I quickly say one thing?
Yeah.
You know who also will be very much hit by hunger? Russia. Russia might not be... I mean, they're probably gonna be still more stable than that they should be, but they might be less stable this time because
they might be more hungry.
Because the thing is, they are so... The thing is, because of local prices and stuff, nations need to be smaller, have good connections, or...
Connections don't impact mapping.
I think...
No, never did.
I think the internal market runs on railways, though.
Infrastructure. That's all that's needed.
The infrastructure. So, the thing is, if you look at, for example, India, like the East India Company starts with railways unlocked, so NITO and the Indus Delta and such has great infrastructure bonuses. Like, considering I'm just starting into a completely mismanaged nation that just simply needs to build rice farms, I have Bengal. I will just spam rice in East Bengal. Like, people are like, oh, India flooded China with opium. I'm like, bitch, I'm gonna flood it with opium and rice. Their grain market will drop by the hands of Indian basmati.
So,
okay, yes.
Here is a point to your whole agrarian situation.
Sure.
So, the petit bourgeoisie are pretty good from them, as if I recall correctly. But the industrialists are technically worse because they don't give you capitalist investment pool contribution bonus. Okay? So, India might be the only nation where it is matter to play agrarianism.
Yeah, I mean, you need to go away from resource extraction anyway, so...
Yes.
You know what? Do we have...
Because normally it's good, like, for example, that you stay on tenant farmers if you are there already. Or just go to tenant farmers.
Escort.
And then go to fast-track mutual funds. Or make some shenanigans with your voting system, like wealth voting, so that the rural folk don't get too strong. Okay?
Yeah.
But agrarianism gives, especially aristocrats, lots of investment pool contribution. And your landowners are pretty good.
Oh yeah, actually you want the landowners in, like, okay, it feels icky to say, but you want the landowners in India because they're Indian landowners, so they also want you to, become independent.
And they give you prestige.
Yes, I know.
Which might be the fastest way to become the leader of the British Empire.
I still don't know how well that would work, but yeah, technically...
It works extremely well, because you just need more prestige than...
more prestige than the Brits, and then I'm the power block leader, and, like, I'm running the show now.
Yes. So maybe you will have a boat building spree, but other than that...
It's like, buckle up, Brits, your food is gonna get spicy. By mandate. That's a neat new payload. But yeah. I probably will run agrarianism first there because it seems like the logical thing to do. There are a few things with you know, the East India Trading Company where like I'm trying to figure out what would be a good thing. So we kind of had this idea that I, you know, try at least to you know, run it as stable as possible. At least try to run it as stable as possible.
Medic needed.
Operator,
Go.
carry on.
This is going much better.
Hostile package closing on checkpoint. Intercept.
But yeah, you definitely, you know what? I'm not gonna bother with like. I wish for one game where they have realistic train tracks at once, just once, please.
The other thing that might happen though,
Yes.
depending on how the strata system works in its entirety, it's not about yet. It might be that some degree of racism is good.
First of all, this is funny. Second of all, do you know how much I just fucking recoiled inside of me when I hit strata system?
It's technically a strata
It is
system.
technically one because, you know, yes, you have the caste system, which should apply to Britain, by the way, but still. Just
That's why you have a good population. If you remember the tier 1 to 5 discriminations,
Yeah.
those are technically also strata. They
I
are now
know.
applied to everything.
Yeah. Oh god.
Because the point being is, if you have discriminated pops, they don't work in like military and government, and also if they discriminate enough against them, so they work in resource buildings, like farms and mines,
Yeah.
and they get less wages.
So the resources are gonna be cheap. That is you know what she says.
Yes, and
Um.
the more racist you are, the more extra wages your accepted pops get. So those in the manufacturing industries get more wages.
Backsliding.
Thus they are richer, and thus your economy shifts more to luxury consumption goods.
Yeah. So
Depending on how that works, it might actually become good to have some degree of racism inventory. Sorry?
I kind of hate the fact that this game just becomes more and more from, you know, Wiki 3 started out as glorious communism simulator, and now it becomes how can you create the ultimate suffering machine? It's just like,
it's my
how much racism is good for your country? How much worker exploitation is solid? Can you run a little bit of slavery as a treat?
Yes, because neither racism nor slavery affects your migration attraction. So all the people come here and getting enslaved and discriminated, and then they're sad, but then they can't leave.
4.
You know what? This feels like it should impact your migration
It
attraction.
should!
It should, but yeah. I mean, it will probably in like 1 or 2 major patches,
You're an
but
attacker. Move the package forward.
what are we gonna do now? Do we want Gorgon? Yeah, you know
Copy.
what?
On it.
Oh boy, how many Gorgons do we have? You know what? No.
I need to.
Libertad. Let's give some healing to this group.
Yes. Especially after this discussion of maybe introducing racism into the economy.
honestly, I've always respected the game that they, modeled, stuff like that accurately, but I feel like now it gets into the realm of maybe it's a bit too accurate.
The problem is that it coincides with the unrealistic theme that pops don't have saving.
Yeah.
Which is good because otherwise the game would lag.
Wait until you introduce savings.
Yeah. The good thing about new strata systems that have to simulate quicker as far as I can tell. Thus, performance will increase slightly.
Yeah, that is definitely a big thing. Also, this means that
If they would actually model economics a bit more realistically, in that pop on savings, and especially capitalists don't invest 100% of their income that's not needed for their daily necessities. I don't know what they're doing with fine art, apparently they eat it, but, except from that, everything they get gets reinvested into the economy. So as long as that's the case, discrimination might be good.
Yeah. You know what? I'm kind of pissed that I couldn't even see how this the map works completely with escort, because the attacking team in the first round was so shit. We just stopped them in the first sector, and so we just walked over them.
Sad.
It sucks. Team too strong. Please nerf. Well. But yeah, it's gonna be very interesting what the It's gonna be interesting how a lot of stuff works out for the AI and how great powers will, how hard will famines actually hit, great powers now. Like, maybe that will be a big, balancing factor actually. Who knows?
Depends where they get their grain from. But I can tell you that having naval supremacy will be much more important.
Yeah, because like if you import grain from somewhere and don't,
if you need to, yes.
But you know who that will make stronger again? Fucking Germany.
Yes, because they imported from Russia mostly and like land bordering countries.
But that also would mean you should definitely. Oh god, you know what?
Which makes the Brits stronger, but it also means if you can outship the Brits, you can starve the British Islands.
Oh boy.
You can potato famine the whole Britain.
I mean, the whole Britain is also. You know what? No, that is wrong. No. Okay, that was. Okay, all of Britain. That is what you should say, not the Britain. The Britain doesn't exist. It's the Brits, or Great Britain, or the British Isles.
I'm thinking in like Crusader Kings 2 logic. Okay.
Okay, but yeah, you can starve Britain, but that means you need to actually do. You need to win the arms race.
The shipbuilding contest.
God damn it, you know what? Now that I think about it, yeah, the whole famine system basically is like, hey, do you want to do the whole naval arms race that Germany did with Britain? Just in game, because you can starve them then.
Yeah. You know what's missing? Actually, as a gameplay mechanic? Naval blockade.
Fair point. That is, I mean, you could technically set it up with enough, ship groups on the nose, but yeah.
Yeah, but only if you're at war.
Yeah, naval blockades should. Oh my! You know what? This is probably a thing that will happen with some major content thing. But like, you know what? Mega Germany will also be much more important now because Hungary is like Romania is basically there's a lot of farmland. It's basically a breadbasket, and like you definitely need to think about where you set up a breadbasket now for your industry, because you can't build your farms where your industry is now, so you need a breadbasket.
Yeah, you never build your farms for your industry.
Yeah, but now it's even more important.
Yeah.
So conquering Eastern Europe is actually important. Huh.
Well, technically conquering Qing.
Okay. Why do you conquer us, people?
People and rice.
And per this update, rice. But rice isn't German. It is now Han Germans. Yeah. The Han Germans, they will rise again. We need them in Schleswig.
Actually, now that companies have headquarters, I think Hesse is now the thing where you build.
Hesse?
I think it was Hesse.
Oh.
Where you normally build your bureaucracy.
Huh. This is gonna be very interesting. So, who's playing what tomorrow? I really forgot. Damn.
I think. I want to say Croatia, but no, it's Canada. Someone wanted to play Canada.
Right. Canada. Oh, Canada. You know, if it isn't, the Hudson Bay Company isn't conquered
by someone.
The Belgian Hudson Bay Company. Like, how did that happen? Belgium.
Technically, if they do not get out of the Brits thingy, then you will sooner or later be their overlord.
That's gonna be fun.
Unless you fuck up and splinter into 1,000 tiny pieces.
Yeah, okay, that would be bad. Then you will gobble me up, and then I just sit there being like, wee. This is the exact sound I will make. I split it and I just sit there being like, wee. In this tonal range. Wee. This is my very, very sad reaction to splintering up into 1,000 countries as India. No one should be splintered into 1,000 little countries as India. That's just a horrifying experience. Imagine you splintering into 1,000 little Indian countries. Most of you aren't even Indian. Like, how did that happen?
And how did you become country?
Yeah! It's like, what? Do you even have any range after that other than wee? Sometimes I wonder if I should just stop talking so much bullshit. And the matchmaking sucks again. Wee. You know what? We have so much Argonia activity right now. I wonder if I should just change Blahash support. Actually, yes.
Don't you need Blahash support for the racism?
You know what? Since your avatar is actually now in a different place, you know what I can do?
Huh?
I can view and Blahash on screen.
Ooh.
Yeah, you know what? Officially, we have entered Argonia activity mode permanently on this stream, I suppose, because we're talking about Wiki 3. You know, the whole internet is talking about Stalker 2, but we're talking about Wiki 3.
I mean, what is more slavjing?
Okay, you know what, that is hard. I mean, the thing is, okay, chat, we need to talk. Stalker 2 is Slavjank, no question, okay? But is Wiki 3 Eurojank? No, it's Slavklang and Eurojank, sorry. Stalker 2 is Slavklang, but is Wiki 3 Eurojank? Because it is kinda janky. And from Europe.
Yeah.
So is it Eurojank?
Also from what I heard...
I think I broke chat. Okay, there is this joke in, video games, okay? That, European games, made in, like, Germany, France, Sweden, by mid-sized studios are usually, like, they have a lot of interesting aspects going for them, but they're kind of janky. So they're called Eurojank in the sense that, they're rough around the edges, but they have, like, a heart, there is something to them. That's, games like Gothic and stuff. And if you, go more to Eastern Europe, stuff like Stalker, which is just, in some cases, simply broken. That's Slavklang, because it's clunky as shit. Just the feeling of playing it is, clunky, but, I mean, I just need to say Stalker, then you understand what I mean with why people play Stalker, why they play those games. Except when you're Civi, then you're just playing them for shits and giggles.
Yeah. Also, I've heard that AI is better at war now.
Oh! Help? I don't want that. I want a worse AI, actually. Okay, you know what? Maybe it is better.
Answers more both.
First of all, that. Second of all, maybe it is better at war under optimal conditions, but maybe the AI is worse at war now that famines exist because it would, drain too much resources?
It will drain more grain to feed your soldiers. So the same amount of grain as far as I know, but it needs in war, you will be more hungry.
That could definitely lead to a lot more unpopular things.
Like starving people. Like if you are in a forever war with the Qing. Yes?
Yeah, I mean, you're right. Your forever wars are gonna be a little bit more hard now.
Like, if I get the Qing to mobilize all their armies and keep them mobilized,
Yeah.
I can technically, in the long run, try to starve them.
If you can do that, yeah, but then you need definitely, the big rice production.
Yes, probably.
Also, one thing that is definitely a big part now is that you need to conquer gap closing, gap cultures. Like, I think in Eastern Turkey, there's one that is African, North African, and European heritage. So people can migrate to them, assimilate to that culture group, and then they are more accepted in both North African and European culture groups.
And assuming that one of them is even more accepted in your country, they could assimilate from there to there.
So make assimilation chains.
Yes.
That's
But
good.
I have no full understanding of how assimilation completely works, so...
Honestly, I feel like they should definitely do something like that also for food and grain. Like, that different culture groups have different preferences for certain grains. Like,
basically how was it? Like, a lot of the Muslim culture groups don't like, I think, alcohol. They have it as a taboo. They consume less of it.
Yeah, but like specifically,
and some of the pops have something the opposite. I don't remember how it's called. Where they drink more coffee, for example, or tea. Mm-hmm. So you could add it there.
Yeah, that would be something. Like, for example, that, if you play India, you would have not a big problem with either wheat or rice, They use both. But, like, if you flood
there are rice farms, but there is no rice.
Yeah, but...
There's only corn.
Okay, yes. But they should split that grain up a little bit. Like, technically that you could fill... That you say you have enough grain, but, if you tell, the Germans... Hey, we have grain. They're like, it's just rice. They get pissy because Germans want potato and, potato, rye, and
You want even more farms introduced into the game?
I mean, yeah.
Then I would like construction sectors to give a bit more construction.
I mean, yeah. Fair point. God, no. Oh God, why? My brain just created cursed shit again. It's like, if they introduced that, so there's this one German meme. I was like, you're introducing, if they ever added that, specific culture groups have preference for certain grains, and you're like, introducing, one that the specific culture group doesn't like, and then my brain just jumped to that one video clip of that German guy being like, ich brauch Hühnchen mit Reis! Hühnchen mit Reis! I mean, it would be funny because that's like... Yeah. again, they could do a lot of interesting stuff with culture movements then, as in, you know, if they introduce stuff like that, that, you know, you could maybe do movements where, you know, cultures are like, oh, hey, you added it so that, or there's a movement that tries to make it so that, you know, rice is more accepted in, you know, German culture, for example.
Already doing movements.
I mean, yes, but it is this thing that should happen, like, you know, I mean, isn't that also around the time where potatoes were already introduced back then? But also, why is potato not a grain? I mean, yes, it would be kind of broken because potatoes are insanely efficient as grains. Like, you have no idea how good the potato is, and like here in Europe, you're basically only doing one type of potato. There are like so many potatoes out there, but potatoes are, oh my god, are they good? Okay, shit. I think I need to talk about potatoes now. So,
Peeled out.
why do I think potatoes are so fucking amazing? First of all, they taste like shit. Okay, just right off the bat, potatoes are tasty. Second, they're like one of the most versatile things you can use. Like, we ate potatoes today, mashed potatoes, and this is delicious. It's just, you know, you boil them with some salt. Pro tip: boil them with broth. Boil them with chicken broth. You thank me later. Like, you want some fried potatoes or boiled potatoes? Boil them in a bit of chicken stock. You know, just trust me on that, okay? Yeah, we're good. Okay, so, fuck yeah. Potatoes, you can roast them, you can fry them, you can do so much with them. They are so utterly versatile. Second, potatoes are insanely long, have an insane shelf life. You need to just, you know, put them in like, basically a dry, dark environment, and potatoes will just, you can stockpile so many potatoes. It is insane. So yeah, potatoes, booyah. And on top of that, potatoes just, you know, they grow everywhere. Like, really bad soil, high up altitudes. Like, no, you know what? Those cases where usually people would do rye or something, potatoes, they grow there. And in good quantities even. So like, oh yeah. And you're like, okay. So you can grow them in, you know, stuff where you usually would have had rye and other things, and, you know, it's a pretty versatile thing. You can, you know, they have like an incredibly long storage life. And you're like, okay, what's the downside? You know what? Ironically, no. There's no downside to potatoes. The only thing is, if you don't store them properly, they can get poisonous. But that's not a problem. That's just not a problem. Just store them properly. They're even full of vitamins. Like, potatoes are insanely good. Like you eat potatoes are more nutritious than nearly every other vegetable you can grow. Again, on top of extremely long shelf life, high versatility in what you can do. Like, you can make potatoes into, like, mashed potatoes, boiled potatoes, you know, fried potatoes, fries, you can make gnocchi out of them, like, you can make pasta out of potatoes. You can just make so much out of potatoes. They are just so good. Period. And again, highly nutritional value. Like, potatoes are so good. I talked about how, you know, the invention of you know, chemical fertilizer saved like millions of lives, but like potatoes, they were arguably the first step. Ah, God. History nerds out about vegetables. But like, hell yeah for the potato. Potatoes are so good. We need potatoes in. Like, okay, you know what? Fuck it. Add that to the list. Like, as much as I say there needs to be like a major war DLC for Wiki 3, and I'm probably working on that. I said they should, they should make one, they should at least make a few medium-sized DLCs. Like, one should be like an actual train DLC. Because, if you have stuff like, a ship designer maybe and stuff, you should also have, ship and weapon designer. You should also have a train designer. Let me design trains. Let me bring German train superiority to the world. British trains, they suck ass. They're blue. Our trains are black and red. Like, we have better trains. Anyway, yes, they were blue, but this was before we unified and made them all cool. So, but yeah, now that I think about it, they should make a farming DLC. I mean, I know that sounds probably like, what? But trust me on that. Like, we have a bunch of grains, like the grain stuff I talked about. That's one thing, but like, I think having an, DLC all about what kinds of vegetables you can grow, vegetables and spices especially. Like, the thing is, spices were like one of the major things, even during the times of, the Victorian age, because people wanted spices. That's like the whole, colonialism happened because of spices, And it's kind of stupid that we do not have a system to, like, we have grain, but we do not have vegetables. Like, we can farm grain, meat, and
secondary
fish.
production methods for quote-unquote potatoes, and then you get alcohol.
Yeah, but like, that's, potatoes are used for so much more. Come on. We use more wheat for, this is why I would say, yeah, you know what? I am actually very much down with the idea of I'm down with the idea of a farming DLC. That would be kind of cool to actually do that and have again something like cultural movements to be like, oh hey,
I would say though, instead of introducing more buildings, I would rather unify them generally into basically agrarian farms and stuff. And then you have an extra tab there to decide your national program, or like what you want to do.
That sounds actually pretty good to be like, what do you want to farm and what like, and then you have just general bonuses on from your country. It would probably make it easier, but also just allow to have a lot more variety. But yeah, I'd say that is one thing I kind of want to see, like variations in vegetables and grain preferences, what they cook with, and spices. Because, for example, one of the big things you need to keep in mind is that something like paprika happened because Hungarians couldn't get to, they couldn't import pepper as easily, and everyone else was using black pepper and stuff. But they found out that paprika grows where they live, and also is peppery. So they just started using paprika for everything. And I think that is one thing that we should probably that you could look into, like the whole have just some general journal entries like trying to make paprika more acceptable in your culture, because that would be for European countries like oh hey, how you probably can't eliminate people wanting to have black pepper, but you could make it so that they want less black pepper, because to a degree they would just use paprika then. It's like that's a cool thing. You know what, I like the idea of the farming and cooking DLC for Wiki 3. That is one of those concepts you really can only pitch for Wiki 3, in my opinion. Because every other game is like, oh hey, what are you doing here? Like, oh yeah, it's just war, and everything is abstracted. And Wiki 3 is like, okay, so I need to change what my country wants to eat, because then I have easier grain access. Like that's very Wiki 3, isn't it? That is very Wiki 3.
Defense.
if you ask me. Would it make it a lot more? Well, yes, but actually, like, yeah, that's the interesting part. It would introduce a lot more to what your pops consume and how what your pops want to consume. So potentially, you know, there's more problems for, you know, oh no, everything slows down. But I like that idea of just generally building farmland and having, you know, demands that people, you know, just like, oh, I want to produce this and this in the country. That's a good thing, actually. That would probably make it a lot more. That would actually improve performance. Now that I think about it. Huh. I mean, you would need to abstract it anyway, so why not? Okay, I'm just very much in the thinking position, okay? Sorry, the design is running through my head. Ow! Fuck, my eye. Why do you hurt now? Anyone else has that your eye just randomly is like, yep, no, I'm itching now. And tearing up. Fuck you. That's what happened. That's just what happened. Come on, you little shit. Don't just fucking... Don't just flank me.
I'll have that. Aid sure would be nice.
It's my turn now. Didn't expect that flank, huh? Yeah, I think a lot of people undervalue how good that sec can be if you just know what to hack.
Ooh, unfortunate.
I will talk about the farming and cooking DLC tomorrow. That's gonna be a whole thing. Trust me.
I'll have that.
Barrier deployed. Hostile echelon just gobbled up. Not every human life is without purpose or reward. Was that laugh convincing?
There we go. Let's help with the last push. Yeah, the EMP hack is pretty good. It wasn't enough, I'd say.
Battle will conclude momentarily. Gather all personal belongings.
Gone. Maybe I should just... Oh, we got it. Nice.
Switching sides. You're on defense.
Okay. What do we have? We have someone dead. You know what? Just keep hijacking things. Oh, by the way, if you want to see another weapon, just tell me. Could use the... I kind of want to use the MP7 again, I guess. Honestly, MP7 has not been in enough games recently.
New job. Don't let those
Oh, but it has been replaced by other... Yeah, but P90 is still in the game, so... I don't care.
Loadout refreshed.
Let's have some fun. Why does everyone want
The enemy has claimed a capture zone.
Oh, what are you playing then?
Secure your zones. Everything else is noise.
Oh, I really hate the fact that everyone... Like, you know what? Zone control is fine, but I like... Why is no one playing Escort? What is going on? Escort is fun. Ah.
I'll have that.
Consider extinguishing yourself.
Yeah, no GDP growth at 1852. That's not good, depending on the
It
country.
appears the enemy has unlocked the second set of capture zones.
Hey, Ruby Lighter Fluid, how are you doing? honestly,
refreshed.
ironically, the British gun is good in this one. I think this is probably one of the funniest things because it is the... Is it the A1 or A2 version? Like... I think it's the LMG version, so it's probably the second one. Yeah. Honestly, I like the design. Also played a bit in Black Ops 6. Generally like the design, so I kind of wish, you know, more of those older guns, you know, even though, you know, people are like, oh, but, you know, Modern Warfare, la 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 la. I don't care. Like, honestly, all arguments for, oh, but why would people use guns from the 90s or 80s and, you know, Modern Warfare setting now, since it's so far into the future? Ukraine. They used Maxim guns with laser sight, like laser sights and red dots.
Another zone falls.
Maxim guns. That's World War I shit. Pre-World War I shit. Just... And they're still working, so, you know. I don't want to hear anything about, oh, why would anyone use guns from the 90s?
Barrier deployed.
Even though it is funny that this one specifically, you know, it is so ass. Like, okay, basically Lee Enfield made this weapon, like, made the original version of this weapon. It was so bad. Like, so horrendously bad. Hey Ditzig, how are you doing? Welcome. It was so horrendously bad that they had to ask Heckler and Koch to fix it, so technically, you know, the standard rifle for the last years in Britain was a German rifle. Yeah, the Russians still use Mosins, because I think that's the thing, you know? This is what I say, you know, especially when, you know, people are like, oh, why should the Vault weapons come into Battlefield 2042? I'm just saying something and be like, listen, a gun is a gun, okay? And especially older weapons, if they're still usable, people will use them. Like, Ukraine didn't have enough stockpile to, you know, they didn't have like enough weapons to arm everyone. Like, and they had a lot of AKMs. And they still buy new weapons, but it's more like, you know, oh hey, we have ammunition and we don't have enough guns. So a lot of people use their own guns. Or, you know, old guns. But as long as it's, you know, usable, like... I hear people are like, oh, should we really use, you know, the old weapons from World War II, like the 1942 weapons in Battlefield 2042? I'm like, yes. Ukraine are using MP40s because that works. You have the ammunition, you have the gun, it works, fine, do it. At the Mosin, yeah, you have ammunition, you have a gun, use it. That's just how you should do it, you know? Like, the thing is, you need to keep in mind. So, despite us now putting in a lot of money to fix our, you know, especially the vehicle section in, you know, in the German Bundeswehr, and yes, we are now adopting the M416, finally, after like, how long? Keep in mind, even though we're like, okay, we're just buying M416s, that's like a stock rifle, that's comparatively cheap to upgrade. If there ever is a war, they still fully expect to just crack open the supplies and be like, okay, you know what? Here's a G36. Go. Not only that, when they're like, okay, and this is like the actual plan, they're still like, okay, you know what? This is the you know, we're cracking open G36 for everyone while we're ordering more M416s. And then they're like, okay, but everyone else, here are G3s. They're just giving you the old G3s. So, yeah.
You lost. At least I remain untainted.
Yeah, how's everyone doing? How has everyone's week been so far? Oh, DN6, by the way. Can I maybe take it? I don't know when you have time over the weekend, but can I maybe borrow it a little bit, because I still haven't done the Easter egg and I just forgot, and I need someone. Yeah. No, like, I think also one of the funniest bits, that it, at least for me when it comes to that is, you know how, so basically Americans are now upgrading again to the battle rifle, and there's a lot of stuff where people are like, oh, why are they doing that? You know, it's not sensible. You have so much, you know, it's a new ammunition type, and it's just because of, you know, armor. And then the question is, you know, if there's a war, will people even have enough armor? Does this, considering that most, you know, places where the US goes, you know, for example, Afghanistan, they didn't even need armor. And like, oh hey, but what if war with China? China wouldn't have enough armor for all their soldiers. So probably intermediate cartridge will be fine enough. But also, I think the funniest bit to me is, so the rest of NATO still has like their old 7.56 stockpiles, because you know the Americans were like, no, we need the big full power cartridge. Those G3s and FNFAL still work pretty well. So you know, oh yeah, we need a bigger cartridge. Yeah, you know what? I can guarantee you, most countries would just dig up their old FNFAL and be like, yeah, who cares? It works. But I mean, that's the thing with you know, gun design and stuff. There's a lot of stuff about mechanical things and shit. But like, I mean, the thing about war, and this is, you know, looping back to Wiki 3, this is kind of why I like Wiki 3 so much, is, like, wars are about logistics. Like, if we talk about, like, oh, hey, you know, the technology this, technology that, like, no question, you know, sometimes a technological advantage can help you a lot. Like, look at, for example, yeah, Ukraine, good example, even in modern times. You basically have two doctrines, and they have some, you know, more modern stuff. You know, the Ukraine has some more modern stuff, and, you know, Russians, I mean, they said they have, but apparently they don't. And, for example, one of the big differences is that, you know, Russia uses still a lot of stationary employed artillery, and like a lot of it, so they're just burning through their supplies. Meanwhile, Ukraine uses, you know, the Panzerhaubitzen 2000 from Germany, which are tracked, and so they can just, you know, be like, okay, we scout everything with a drone, we tell, you know, our artillery teams fire there, and then the artillery teams fire and just skedaddle. Meaning they can be more precise and waste less ammo, which is, you know, even though they're basically running against someone with way more manpower, still, you know, the technology does do a difference. It's, you know, it's not a, you know, it's not a guarantee for winning. I don't think we're like at that point in time, which is why I kind of want Wiki 3 to have, you know, a bit more in-depth, you know, a bit more of the in-depth war DLC, because let's just be real here. During that time period, there were a bunch of battles and a bunch of wars that were simply decided by technology difference. Like, I mean, okay, yes, technology difference wasn't just the reason why, you know, the French lost so horribly against Prussia, but it was definitely a part of that. The other part was, you know, Napoleon III just going to the front lines and getting captured immediately, and then Germany was like, whoops, we just control all of northern France. How did that happen? And then the French were like, ah, sacre bleu. I think one of the funniest parts is that, you know, Germany was like, okay, hey, we don't take a lot of land like Alsace-Lorraine. We beefed about that anyway. You know, that isn't disputed anyway. You know, we don't want to have beef with Russia, Austria, and Britain at once. So they didn't want to punish France that hard. Funniest thing is that they wanted to. The idea was, okay, you know what, we you know, war reparations. We make big war reparations for France, and with the idea that, you know, France can pay those off in like 12, 20, 30 years. So we just keep them like, we just keep them occupied, you know. That's that. Just let them drain resources, and France just paid the war reparations off like super easy. And then Germany was like, ah, shit, we didn't economically cripple the French. They're just angry now. And they're making better rifles now. So, like, yeah. The whole bold action thing was, yeah, that was a pretty neat thing the Germans did. Basically everyone else had it afterwards anyway. So everyone was like, yeah. We kind of figured that bold action thing out. Like, we can still talk about a lot of interesting, you know, parts and gimmicks of that. Like, for example, how, you know, how smokeless powder was like such a big game changer, because suddenly, you know, with a lighter round, you had less smoke, you know, smokeless, but also the powder itself was much more potent. So your bullet was also just more precise, and engagement ranges were just farther. Like, there's so much technology they kind of need to. I kind of wish they would do in Wiki 3. So yeah, then again, the French also made the Lebel rifle, and like, I think also one of the most interesting things is that you then have this whole shift between, you know, okay, you know, rifles were in the beginning designed. And this is why I kind of want to have like a mentality and gun design thing, because one of the big things you need to keep in mind is that warfare design and doctrines were just heavily, you know, heavily actually influenced by simply assumptions. So, for example, a lot of people just assumed, like a lot of generals just assumed, they literally just assumed, long rifle better. So this is why a lot of the rifles were just really long, and then they were like, okay, so because we have long rifle, and then we put bayonet on front, and that bayonet being really long, you know, our soldiers can just stab the enemy soldier from a safe distance, which made the bayonets actually really heavy, the rifles unprecise, and it just was kind of a mess, ironically. And you don't know, then World War I came around, everyone was like, so those carbine versions we have of our weapons, you know, the shorter ones, they actually perform equally as well as our normal rifles. And this is why you basically, this is why, you know, during World War II and such, you see how, you know, the Germans were using the Kar-98K, so Karabiner, or Kurz, I think. Was it Kurz, Karabiner? K can be a lot in German, so, you know, don't worry about that. It can be both. But basically, yeah, small rifle, and they were like, yeah, that works as well. And then, only then they realized, bayonets being short is actually better, because the thing is that long bayonet, like, is heavy. Also, you don't really have an upside, and the smaller bayonet actually pierces better and can be retracted more easily. So, yeah, that's, you know, that's just,
Reloading.
I guess weapon doctrine and warfare with Mia. Goofy. I think one of the funniest parts there is that, you know, I really wish they would have something like weapon licensing and imports, because So one of the funniest quirks about World War One was that, so the Russians didn't have enough Mosin Nagats, by the way. Like, I know the Mosin Nagat is like really popular, like really famous nowadays. And, you know, everyone's like, oh yeah, the Mosin. But ironically, during World War One, the Russians didn't have enough. They simply didn't have enough. So they were like, ah shit, we need guns. I think so they went to Remington in the USA because Remington was like, yo. So Russia, we know you need guns. Luckily we have a lot of guns lying around that we couldn't sell anymore. How about that? We just transforming them to your cartridge and then we sell it to you. And this is why Russia actually fought with a lot of lever action rifles in World War One, because they didn't have enough Mosin Nagats, and then Remington was like, ew, we have all those lever actions we can't sell. Wanna buy some lever actions? And then Russia was like, fuck it, I guess we're going Wild West style. But that's the thing, you know, this is what I mean with warfare is as much about logistics as everything else. Like yeah, why are they using the Mosins? Why are they using the, you know, why are they using, you know, SKSs, MP40s and stuff? It's, if you have the ammunition, if you have like ammunition designs around, if you have ammunition around, it is actually, it is a good thing, I would say, to just be like, okay, you know what, maybe we just rather use the old guns, but we have a lot of those guns, because in the end, like, the cartridge is the important thing. Like, okay, a gun can be bad, don't get me wrong, okay, a gun can be bad, but the difference between the most, like, you know, the Mosin Nagant is a good gun, don't get me wrong, and it's definitely a better gun than, you know, a lever action rifle. Because, for example, lever action rifles, you can't actually, you know, use them that well in trenches. You know, it's like the whole, you know, if you're lying on the ground, you technically have to tilt them to the side, lever action, and then put them back up again. It's not the best. But when you're at war, it's like, do you want the gun or do you not want the gun? And that is just one thing I kind of wish to see in, like, also Wiki 3, because, is this gonna be a round again where we just dominate them in the first sector? Holy shit. Nice! Not. But yeah, this is one thing where like, you know, I say Wiki 3 should have that, but I think one of the most crucial parts, if you notice that, is that I think, you know, gun design licensing, that's one thing, you know, gun design is shit. I don't know how to do that, but one thing I think they should do, okay, which would be probably the biggest impact on warfare and, you know, the infrastructure of warfare in Wiki 3 is ammunition cartridge design and licensing. So, right, you see, the thing is, I would say, why is this so important? Well, NATO. Just look at NATO and Warsaw Pact. One of the reasons these things existed was to say, oh, we have standardized ammunition. So it doesn't, you know, matter, you know, what gun you use. The thing is, every country you're allied with pumps out, for example, 5.56. Meaning, yeah, you know, oh hey, Britain can't really supply a lot of ammunition anymore. Who cares? France is still pumping out 5.56 blood. Sure, they're using the FAMAS. The Brits are using the Enfield. it uses the same ammunition. Who cares? You can just, you know, British guns can fire French cartridges, no problem. That's just that. Perfect. And similar stuff happens, you know, in certain degrees before that, because, for example,
Enemy is closing on the checkpoint.
Mauser, like, for example, Mauser, you know, designed their own cartridge, and
You may swear. Ready to go.
Service outage.
and a lot of guns were designed on licenses, like licensed, cartridges, because, for example, I think the Arizak, I think some Russian guns, like, for example, so Russia kind of designed one of the first assault rifle-ish guns, you know, with the Fedorov Aftermath. And that gun was supposed to be chambered in Arizaka, so a Japanese round, and an Arizaka cartridge. So yeah, I think that is probably one of the most important things. Like, you know, if you have a design, if you have like any military design thing, I think cartridge design would be such an important thing, because it could influence majorly who you ally with, or, you know, like, for example, a country where you, you know, let's just say, for example, you say, oh hey, my guns are firing the Mauser cartridges, meaning you would license that from, you know, Germany. You could, you know, you can import ammunition from Germany, etc., etc. But also Germany would just generally like you more. Like, they would generally be like, okay, hey, we have like a bigger relationship here, even though, you know, our countries don't interact that much, because, you know, you are using our cartridge. You're basing our weapons on our stuff. But also this could be a good thing, you know, for players, because, like, if you're rushing to develop your own cartridge and you make a good cartridge, that could mean, you know, other countries would adopt that cartridge. You see what I mean? Also, this could mean, you know, the military pacts have a little bit of a, and they're just a little bit shit. Okay, let's just call the baby what it is. Military pacts, power blocks are just a little bit shit. They're not bad, but like in what they are offering, they're usually not the type of power block where I would say, yeah, this is like worthwhile. Like when I'm like, okay, what do I use them for and such? I can usually say, make probably better arguments for stuff like ideological union, religious convocations, or, you know, the fucking you know, the trade leads. Those are just straight up usually better. The Sovereign Empire is funny, like it's its own little minigame, but again,
I would say the last two talked about it better.
What?
Sovereign Empire and Trade Union, Trade League.
And you played them a lot, so the trade ones are good.
The trade ones are good, but the Sovereign Empire is also a good power block. I would say those two are the best ones, depending on the country.
Well, but generally, I'd say the military pact is like.
It's like, oh, you can do like defensive coalition of some kind, but if you can form a power block, you don't need it anymore.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing where I would say, I'd say the irony about that is basically the military alliance. I think they even said it themselves. It's kind of supposed to be like NATO, kinda. So the thing is just one of the major things about NATO is not just, you know, oh, people are working together. That's a thing, you know, that's a major part, sure. But yeah, one of the main things about NATO is unified cartridges. And I think that would be one hell of a good addition to Wiki 3, because Wiki 3 is all about economy, you know.
Catch me up, anybody!
Like, oh yeah, we have, I think that is just one thing where where military empire will probably be quite impressive actually. Like no, military coalition, because I mean sovereign empires would do it to a degree as well, but you know if you're just a trade union and stuff, probably wouldn't be. You know, it could still happen because, you know, you're trading and such, but like, being, oh hey, we all adopt one cartridge and stuff like that, that would just massively influence how the war logistics happen, you know, in a military attack.
Boom, boom time!
Almost to the checkpoint.
Oh well. It's kind of funny how I'm playing a shooter game and talking about war logistics. Oh, you little shit. But yeah, war logistics is like, I think... Yeah, I mean, I think that is a way they want to emulate that, but I think, you know, if you have like an actual cartridge system in the game, it would be one of those things where you could say, oh, the power blocks, you know, a military power block just... What?
I would advise against.
Why?
Because it's more micro.
Yes.
You gently want to avoid it.
I mean, yes, but also, just think about the possibilities.
Yes. Think about how much faster you can.
Breaking out the ring!
I don't even understand you right now, it was too loud.
Okay. Think about how you're way too slow in the game already. And things you need to...
I mean,
and
yes.
now think about having that system. And maybe something for bonus. And maybe 3 others.
Push that package
And then
to
cry.
the delivery zone.
Shut up.
Victoria?
Shut up.
Victoria
Shut up.
mechanics
Shut up.
should be focused on macroeconomic choices.
Yes, shut up.
Look at you.
Or I will cry for real.
What a team play. Almost
Live
to
on
the
camera.
checkpoint.
And you should feel bad for it.
But I don't.
Then I will cry even more.
Hop along, Rabbit.
God, you should
Got
have,
some
by the way,
ground to
seen
cover.
yesterday. Basically, we're like, hey, can I rebuild like one of my classic loadouts from Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 6? And yeah, roughly, impressively. Oh, I like that gate. But also, no Black Ops 6 multiplayer stream as of now. Maybe, you know, when there's like the mid-season update and we're, you know, we're playing Citadel and more zombies anyway. Maybe I can, you know, show you then. I mean, I think the map was Hacienda from 4. Hacienda's a good one. I can maybe show a bit of Black Ops 6 then. Maybe I have both weapons and like, also, here's okay, how are you doing? Oh, let's do this. Fuck. Hey, Sophie, now everyone is trickling in like the last minutes, damn it! I'm just putting this up here before, in front of King Rich Evening, you know.
Boom, boom time!
And how is everyone doing? killed the cat girl. I am the only cat girl allowed to live.
Disengage.
Oh, fuck! But yeah, Wiki 3 tomorrow. That's gonna be the big one, the fun one, the good one. Still looking forward to Citadel more and ah, fuck. Oh, you know, zombies is really fun right now. And so, Heights and Cat Girl. Yeah. I'm still like, you know, oh hey, I have finished the battle pass here. Like, I'm like, yeah.
We're almost at that progress point. We're about to win.
I mean, sorry, this is more like, you know, with people we know, and we, you know, we're generally like, you know, this is like, you know, every Friday we play, and it's usually, you know, so we know each other. I mean, as long as it wasn't that bad. I have to say, I don't really have the biggest problems with dentists. It's
Package is heading backwards.
but that is also because, you know, that dental care in Germany is pretty good, and also it doesn't make you poor, so. Like, you know, you go twice there anyway per year, and they're like, just look at your teeth and like, hey, is anything there? And I can patch it up. I had a thing recently where I was like a while ago, where it was, I mean, hey, if you hang around and you become a regular, who knows? You know, if you're on the Discord.
Your problem is, those fools
fuck.
ain't scared of you.
That's just that. That could happen. Who knows? But yeah, honestly, like, you know, I had a little bit of a black patch there, and like, I don't know if it's worth it. I don't think it's worth it, but hey, we won. Finally saw more of the fucking map.
Now I don't gotta yell at you.
Yeah, I can imagine if you have like a sensory thing, but for me it's more like, yeah, you know, I get it checked twice a year. It's usually not a problem, and then like if something's there, I'm like, I just like, yeah, hey, I need a you know, appointment shortly, and I'm like, yeah, sure, and then I went over there and they were like, yep. Because, oh yeah, one of my, like, my gums, well, one of my gums just started hurting, and there was, like, a black spot, and she was like, yep. It wasn't, you know, what's it called? It wasn't, you know, yet, you know, the thing that burrows into your teeth. It was just, like, very, very surface level. So, just, you know, went in there, like, with a bit of a scrape, and was like, done. The gun, and then she was like, yeah, go take this mouthwash. It's like, it's aggressive, you take it for 1 week and your gums should get better. And I was like, yeah, okay, good. And my gums got better. So, yay for dentists. Worst thing I had, like a while ago is, okay, just for everyone, it wasn't bad, okay, it's just, sometimes, you know, a little bit of dirt can just get under your gums, and then it just swells a bit. Didn't hurt, it was just swollen. I was like, that shouldn't be. And then, you know, went to the dentist and they were like, yep, that shouldn't be. And then they just, you know, anesthesia, removed it, and like, whoop, that is. And now I have a little hole between two of my teeth. It's not, you know, a hole, it's just, you know, the gum is a little bit shorter there, so... No, sometimes it's there, sometimes it's there. It's funny. I can annoy my girlfriend with that. Neither is an old feeling of mine, which went fine, but still had general, like, say, yeah... It's kind of interesting. Like, I still have, like, massive anxiety from needles. like actually like a big fear of needles, but I got that under control. But I had problems with the dentist before because, you know, I had like a bunch of problems with my teeth and stuff. Okay, since everyone is here, there's Gay Witch Evening today, so I am going to close this one up soonish, but since everyone is talking, let's have one more round. Just, it should be fine, it should be fine. But yeah. Didn't have holes yet in my teeth, so that was actually really nice. I have good teeth. I have good teeth in that regard. Oh yeah, I almost had I almost had a hole once in my teeth, but that was more because so, you know, when I switched, you know, basically when I moved to you know, in with my girlfriend, went to a new dentist, and he was like, hey, one of the seals in your back on your back teeth, that was kind of shittily done. Like, whoever was your dentist before that, he fucked up because, you know, it didn't fit perfectly, so just, you know, there was just, it could just accumulate under there, so I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do it new. But, you know, we're still surface level, so... You know what? We played every faction this time except Echelon and the Cleaner, so you know what? Fuck it, Cleaner time. Yeah, I can see that. I mean, okay, you know what? I generally have the upside here that I just have... Okay, I just have good genetics in that part, okay? Like, I don't know why, but like, at the different times where also I just had like, yeah, I didn't brush my teeth because of, you know... Yeah, depression. Suicide. Shit like that. So, if that got too real, sorry. But yeah, that happens. But also, compared to that, my parents have fillings, my sister has fillings,
Don't let nobody get in your way.
my girlfriend has at least one filling, I know, not a big one, because I got her to the dentist again, because we were like, you know what, legally you're required to hit the dentist twice a year, so we're gonna do that. And it was a good dentist. I don't know what you mean with that, but like here it's at least here it's like, again, dental dentists are covered by insurance. Everyone has insurance, so they're not a big deal in my opinion. But I think this differs from country to country. One of the big things is that they are basically like one of the big things here is, as I said, you have to go twice a year to the dentist just for a checkup. Because if you don't do that, then you're, you know, basically, if you do that and you get checked, basically, your insurance is like, yep, okay, you know, you did, precaution, you got it checked. It doesn't cost you, so that's what I want to point out. That's free, like, it's actually free coverage. They're like, yep, so if something happens, they just cover it. They just cover it in full, no problem. If you don't, yeah, then they're like, yeah, fuck you. You didn't do precaution. At least here, yes. I think the funniest bit is that the biggest insurance company is also green, so yeah, it literally maybe could come with your Xbox. Like, you go to a store in Germany, like, here's your free Xbox insurance card. You're like, okay, sure. It's at least I don't have the biggest problem. But again, this is me. I have with a lot of things no problem. Like, for example, I love spiders. I fucking love. I adore spiders. Like, there's a spider in our house. I'm like, holy shit, spider!
Like a nice long
Bunky
walk
spider.
to
It's so
trigger the
cute.
sciatica.
Like we had in front of our, main entrance to the building. Like there's we have a big, mailbox and like a bit of a roof there. And the spider made like a really beautiful web there. Like I was like, oh, that was a beautiful one, really big, like quite big even for a small spider. It was just like
That package moving. Delivery zone combined.
It was a big spider the size of a small spider. Is what I'm saying.
Barrier deployed. Somebody stitch me up!
You're burning.
Oh well. God damn it, talking about insurance now. Oh well. Yeah, brush your teeth, kiddos. It's useful. It's actually quite useful. I know not everyone can, but like you do want to go to the dentist. No one wants. But even then, I'm still baffled that there are countries where everyone's like, oh yeah, no, it doesn't need to be covered by insurance because it's just, personal responsibility. Like, fuck no. Fuck no. Again, that one thing with the seal would have been caught if I didn't go to the dentist regularly. And also, that wasn't, me, not brushing my teeth enough. That was the other dentist fucking up. And also, you don't know, sometimes shit just happens to your teeth. You know that thing with the gums I told you about? That just happens. Literally the other, where my gums got inflamed a bit. Literally, okay, we had a new dentist and she was also like, yeah, that happens. Even if you brush your teeth regularly, that just can happen. And like, booyah!
Your turn on D. Send that package back.
Do we want to? Yeah, you know what's turret. But that's why I generally that's why I generally say insurance should cover everything and should be there for everyone, because there's just too much, health problems that you're not responsible for. Shit can just happen. Oh well. But yeah, at least today, as I said, it's Gay Witch evening again. Finally watching the final season of Strike Witches on the Discord. It's gonna be fun. I mean, they're witches
Don't you dare let them beat our last
and
liberty
they're gay,
time.
so that's good. I'm generally doing like big gay witch propaganda.
One less weakling.
Yeah. I've been telling so many people you should watch this show, because I feel like a lot of people are, either they never heard about it, or they saw it back and they were like, is it really that good? And nowadays I showed people, and like basically every lesbian show too is like, holy shit, this is good. Also deaf to pants. They all hate pants, which is you know what? Didn't expect the vile hatred for pants. But okay, you never stop learning.
Somebody fix me up!
But yeah, it's just kind of interesting because yeah, like I think a lot of old series have this, especially anime, have this thing going on that a lot of people just have this idea that, oh, yeah, there may be, you know, lesbian, but you know, it's not, you know, for lesbians, and then it's kind of weird because like the more you watch those, they're like, no, those are actually definitely gay. Like, that's not heterosexual. That's not for heterosexual people. Ironically, it's weirdly fine-tuned for lesbians, you know.
Deploying sticky. Field out.
God damn it. I should... You know what? I should put up my turret now. Okay, if you're wondering, we're playing... You should... It is very gay. I'm not joking. It's like... And by the way, if you're wondering, no, it is explicit. They definitely said, no, those are a thing. They are all a thing. Like, there are not enough shows nowadays. Like, there are so many shows nowadays where everyone's like, maybe, but you know what? You can just make it a headcanon. And I'm just like, and guess who can fuck off? You know, even if it's a good headcanon, I'm like, fuck you, cowards. And I will point to that old series that was kind of made, you know, as a...
Backing up. I like it.
Okay, so one of the funniest things to me is like... I know, we will get to that. Also, hello, Lena. Your internet is back. That is good to see. But yeah, like, I'm just pointing out, like, I think 2006, 2007 or 8 was it? Like, a 2007 or 8 show that is just, like, pretty unapologetically gay. I think the funniest bit is that, you know, that, you know, the Japanese Navy is just full of himadanshi, so, like, that's just one of the funniest parts in there. It's one of the latest William says from Transmission. Oh, nice. Yeah, they should allow to grow, you know, animal ears and pilots. Magical techno brooms and fight monsters and you know that's that. Oh well. But yeah, it is so funny because like I think I am, you know, trying to, you know, pushing strike witches onto people is like, listen everyone. You've been, you know, you've been missing out on, like, you know, one of the elders, like one of the classics. This is history. You should cherish it. There we go. Oh fuck. Oh well.
Ready back.
Did that person die twice to my fucking turret?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And there we go. Whew, win. Won a lot of times today.
It's addictive.
Yeah, that's good. Honestly, that helmet is a great design. Like, yeah, it's a biker helmet, but it has cat ears. Like, kudos to the design team. They have, like, I really like the fact that they're not just making like, oh look, those are the characters from the game. They're like, here are 3 characters based on the faction of the game, and they're really good looking. Like, this is one of the upsides. So this is why I'm actually looking very much forward to next season, because you know, I'm still here like, yeah, you know, Highwaymen are great, they're fun. I really loved playing them. But like next season are the assassins, so I'm really gonna be interesting how the assassins are gonna be like, you know. Also their maps, according to data mines, are in Greek and England, you know, like, okay, that's gonna be fascinating seeing, you know, tactical assassins maybe. It is gonna be interesting, you know. We haven't had modern assassins in a bit, I'd say. So that might become like a big selling point actually. But yeah, that's the new map. It's actually really good. Honestly, I think the 4 launch escort maps, they range from, you know, good ones. I'd say, you know, if I had to rank them, you know what? As the resident idiot of I like payload games. Is there one? There we go. And it doesn't have the... Yeah, oh fuck, I can't do it. So yeah, I think this one is probably one of the better ones, and your only ranged weapon is a crossbow. You have spent 30 seconds reloading it after shot. Assassins still dominate the meta. I don't know. Yeah, honestly, I will be there when the season launches, is what I'm saying, because I don't know if I will get them at launch. I will definitely try, you know, grinding them free as fast as I can, because they definitely look like the promise of assassins in like a more modern, you know, gunfight setting sounds just that's probably the most interesting one, you know, siege operator, like every faction right now, all of the factions are, you know, from games with guns anyway. So, you know, like they just range from, you know, a bit more low tech like Libertad and Highwayman to, you know, we have plasma shields, but still, the assassins are gonna be the most interesting one, because, you know, they're gonna be their own, they have to be their own unique assassins. So, yeah, I'm very much excited for that. But otherwise, yeah, this was some xDefiant. Yeah, the new map is good. I think, is it better than Daytona? I think Daytona and it just comfortably dominate like the S tier. This is like, those are really good payload maps. Overwatch wishes it had this good of maps. But damn it. I still need to play that classic mode and just be like, how much can I just sigh at it being just a lost thing. Anyway, xDefiant was fun, and yeah, you should definitely all watch Strike Witches. As said, 2008, it is gay, it is confirmed gay, it is also really well written. Like, you'd think that show is trash, and it is, kind of. And then it just kinda is not. You're gonna like some characters, like, you know, you will like Perrin, and if you get to Brave Witches, yeah, you will like a certain German woman. You will know it is, you know what, that's the thing, it's our trash, and you know what? People are like, oh, it's trash. You know what? Good. Keeps the heterosexuals away. Because the lesbians are like, you know what? Maybe I should indulge in trash. And they're like, oh, that's well written. That has characters. It has heart. It has that one episode in season 2 where you're just being like, holy shit, this is actually so wholesome and it makes you cry because they're just so cute together. And you're like, yeah, those are actually certified gay lesbians and they're very cute together. And then we have here again the ultimate disaster lesbian. You know what? You should at least added a P there, because N and Y could also be read as a not good word. No, don't say the word. Don't say. Anyway, ISO certified lesbians, yes, and not. Sophie, they are all certified, and yes, and they are very much obsessed with, you know, the boobas. It's just ISO certified. It's DIN certified. I cannot point out just how gay that show is, like, and and well written. Like like the thing is, usually when a character was gay, you know, and then the older show you're like, oh yeah, you know, you didn't also get good character development. Yeah, but this one has it. But this is why I'm ending here, because we are going to see those now, because we've already been through 3 seasons and a movie, and we're going to watch the final one. So yeah, see you all tomorrow for Victoria 3. Have a good one. This was xDefiant. Good map, good fun. We will see probably each other in Season 3 with this game. Until then, goodbye.